History is about to be created. It's on with Richardson and Martin at one end of the ground. But play goes on, sensibly so. McKernan tries to belt it clear. North go into attack through Carey. He gets the first kick of the night. Down towards Archer at half forward. North Melbourne deep into attack. Pressure now on the Tigers. And it's their skipper Free who gets them away. Away to the half-back flank towards Gale, who sees it over the line. Well, time to welcome to the microphone Ian Robertson. Welcome, Robbo. Did you see that at the other end of the ground?
Sandy, I tell you what, the spirit's evident here already tonight. A very, very big game for both sides.
Great atmosphere very early on. Deere is there, Broderick also, but it's Gale who gets a kick. Fairly coming back into the side. Can't beat Brendan Gale.
Got a bit of aggro about them, the Tigers tonight.
Fired up. Oh, Brendan gets caught. Is going to get a free kick, maybe a little lucky. Umpire said he was legged.
I thought maybe the player came from behind.
So Gale to send Richmond into half forward.
Can't possibly pay the Edwards way. How could that be, Jared? The bloke in front had a good grip of it.
Well, I must admit, Robbo, my first thought was that Edwards did take the ball first and then the North Melbourne player came in, but let's have a look on the replay.
Dead set mark to Ross Smith.
Yeah, you'd have to pay the man in front, I think, looking at the replay, but pretty good setup, the Tigers forward line. Edwards, with Archer on him, is going to have a bit of an advantage.
So let's have a look at the kick. The first one at goal. Big start for the Tigers. They lead by 6 points.
Let's have another look at this one. Yes, what a great mark there by Rossi Smith, but good luck to the Tigers there because their man came down with it. And a pretty good kick too to convert, and that's just the start they wanted. Anthony Stevens harassing Matthew Knights in the middle of the ground. It was Keenan Reynolds actually picking up the Edwards for Richmond.
And a great example there of how the players are disciplined in getting on with the game. No argument from Ross Smith, playing his 200th game. Out of the ruck contest, Greg Deere has a free kick and a 50-metre penalty. McKernan.
Jeez, it's a fair 50.
Well, it went from the centre, and he's going to kick from about 25 metres.
Bit going on off the ball too. Just ask Tony Free.
Well, Greg Deere would have to capitalise here. Bit of a charity goal if he gets it.
And already a change for North Melbourne. Ellison coming onto the ground. Mark Roberts off.
Greg Deere goes for goal. The Tigers have got their second on the scoreboard. Greg Deere gets a bonus goal for Richmond. Stuart Edwards has kicked one. Richmond lead 12-0, and Bond and Armstrong have a little to do.
Well, Bond isn't picking up Wayne Swass, as we can see on screen. He's got Anthony Rock. So we'll just pick up Swass's position. Armstrong also in the middle against Broderick, two ex-teammates.
The Tigers like a shot out of a gun. Deere, Bond gets them going again. Down towards the half-forward line. Fisted clear. Knights can be first to it. Away he goes with Stevens. Both Joe Dash. Broderick gets the hand pass away to Gale. Oh, they're setting it up again. Here goes Knights on the outer flank. In towards full forward. Towards Edwards. Great use of the body. And he's going to have a shot. 25 metres out. Almost directly in front. And he's already booted one.
Well, I think the forward line for Richmond was always going to present a problem. And right at the moment, the way they're getting the ball out of the centre so quickly, it's leaving them one-on-one, and Edwards has exploited it.
Edwards for a fairy tale start for the Tigers has converted. And a start doesn't come much better than that, Jared.
No, particularly when you've had such a huge build-up throughout the week. I would have thought lots of ex-champion players from premiership years being invited back to the club. There's Broderick getting the ball on by hand. Another one, quick hands there by the Tigers, and implementing, getting all their midfielders getting a touch of the ball early, which is important in such a huge game.
3 goals, Richmond. North Melbourne yet to cross their half-forward line. Terrific start by the Tigers. The bounce favours North Melbourne. Matthew Knights goes after it. Hand pass, pretty well straight up in the air. He gets a free kick. Tackle, didn't have the football. Knights Terrific player for Richmond. Kicks across to the right half. Oh, big leap. That's a free kick, isn't it? No, play on. Umpire calls it. Campbell leads in the race. Away goes Blakey, close to the line. Handball's back. Chance for Reynolds off the side of his boot. Back towards the wing. Terrific block there by Brendan Gale. Oh, down goes Bond. Tackled by Fairley. Unfair. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Well, it does to me, Sandy. This is Bond for the Tigers. Chris Bond, best and fairest player. Kicks to half forward.
Ooh,
knocked away. Anthony Rock. The ball spills to the back. Richardson, the shepherd. Daffy's well tackled. Away goes King for North Melbourne and kicks it outside 50 metres. It'll bounce close to the line. Michael Gale, a brilliant gather. That was quite spectacular football. He gets onto the right foot and punts it back towards centre half forward. But a good mark is taken by McKernan. A free kick as the Richmond player shouted off the ball. That is the way that David Howard has seen it. And a free kick is against Martin. It will go to Matthew Richardson.
Well, a couple of easy ones there to the Tigers, but that's what the crowd can do for you, and it does seem that they are certainly pro-Richmond at the present time. I'm just thinking what the people outside the stadium are thinking. It's always exciting when you hear the big roar. Can't get into the ground quick enough.
Well, listen to this. If he kicks this, listen to it. Matthew Richardson's got his first. Tigers have kicked 4. North Melbourne yet to score.
Well, this is called getting off to a fly. 4 goals straight, a couple of favourable decisions from the umpire. Everything going the way of the Tiger at the present time. They're getting the ball out of the middle. All their champions have got, all their midfielders have got a touch early. And both sides pretty niggly. A lot at stake here in this game.
Richmond 4 goals, and at the moment it's 5 free kicks to 0. The Tigers' way. Still in the centre. But a dramatic opening to Monday night football here on 7.
Well, you would think North Melbourne would have been prepared for this outburst by Richmond, but they look a little shell-shocked.
McKernan and Deere. Socket past Campbell. Broderick up towards Edwards. Reynolds comes charging out. Almost took the football with him. Now McMartin had it and then lost it. A snap round the body by Daffy. Oh, there's another one! The Tigers are on fire! Nick Daffy has thrown away the number 44 jumper. He's down to number 10 and he's kicked his first.
Whew, what a start.
Unbelievable. I haven't seen anything like this in 10 years, honestly. This is the best start in a game of football.
Yes, they're under siege here in North Melbourne. Broderick getting the ball out of the centre pretty well. Wasn't the best of deliveries, but you just get the feeling here that Mick Martin could sense the pressure he was under.
And they go forward again. In towards the forward pocket, the kick coming from Campbell. Reynolds off the ground for the safety of the boundary line. And talking about under siege, my golly, there's Tony Jewell in the coach's box for the Tigers. Johnny Northey with the headphones. Fairley, the ruck work against Brendan Gale. Brendan Gale too tall, gets it to the front. Here they go again. Daffy's kicked his second goal. The Tigers have got 6.
This is unbelievable.
Don't worry about any highlights, Sandy. This package is sensational.
Well, I think that Daffy may well have been just minding Swass here. Swass just on the back flank. He lets him go. Daffy goes through, kicks his second for the turn. And boy, is this a big start for the Tigers, and they have got one of the biggest roars collectively in the business.
Crowd are going mad. We've been playing 8.5 minutes, and Richmond have 6 straight on the board. It's unbelievable. North haven't been past this area once. Deere tries to stop them again. Rock short kick. They're going to get a chance this time as Trent Nichols sends them forward. They want goals badly. This may be their best. Trent Nichols. They've got one back.
They're lousy, aren't they? The fans.
Trent Nichols there. He summed up the situation pretty well. Longmire vacated the square, and on a slippery night, even if you're not going to make the distance, all you have to do is kick the ball accurately, because the ball will generally bounce straight in a straight line. And that's probably why Carey left it.
McKernan, the ruck work against Greg Deere. McKernan up high, didn't quite connect. Away goes Stevens. The kick, brilliantly smothered there for Richmond by Rogers. And we'll call for a bounce.
Interesting setup from North Melbourne, having Wayne Swass start on Nick Daffy on a half-back flanking. You see Capuano and Craig Scholl, a surprise bench starter there.
Given the credit there to Duncan Callaway, who it was that smothered the ball. Michael Gale, the half forward, punched away from Ross Smith, gathered by Naish. Handball, not quite far enough, but Daffy does well to gather. Handball, only as far as Laidley. Laidley at centre half-back, under pressure, kicks it across the half-back line. Blakey put under pressure by Campbell. Reynolds comes clear for North Melbourne and kicks it to a vacant wing area, and it trundles over for a throw-in.
I mentioned that I thought North Melbourne were a far more mature side this year, as we saw in the Ansett Australia Cup, but this is certainly going to be a test as we see the bench for the Tigers on screen. Real test now for North Melbourne to just steady in a crisis.
Scott was the target from the boundary throw, and he was unable to take it away. Duncan Callaway, young man from Glen Waverley Rovers, picks himself up. As we said, a clear night. Expecting a low of a cool 8. Deere belts it down towards Gale. Caught by Fairley and slung. Campbell a chance. Another hand pass, good to Bond. Knights on all fours. As Dipper said in the opening, it is a little slippery underfoot. It may become more so as the night goes on. Free is taken over the line and dumped.
Won't be too many easy kicks tonight by the look of the way they're both fiercely going at it, both sides.
Just in the North Melbourne attacking zone. Deere again trying to swipe it. Archer out of bounds on the full. Bond will bring it back into play. Over centre wing. A big pack of players, but no mark as Fairley pops it back to the wing area once again. Bond rides a heavy collision. Carey is in trouble on the boundary line. Gives it away to Archer. Pops it up over the 50-metre line. Nichols running with the ball, but he also runs into trouble. Good defensive play. And that was by David Burke, son of Francis. And a throw-in to take place.
They're just certainly running in straighter lines and a little bit harder at the football at the present time, Tigers. And not surprisingly, they'd be just chock full of adrenaline.
Greg Deere being held onto, was he, by Mark Roberts? That's the way the umpire sees it. So the free kick will go to Greg Deere in the right back pocket. He runs across the full back area and kicks out towards the wing. The ball was aimed for David Burke. Interference was applied there by Robert Scott, and Burke it is that'll take the free kick for Richmond. Burke's kick, not bad, good distance. Richardson, bumped by Smith. And a free kick again. This is to Martin, held when he didn't have the football. North Melbourne's first free kick.
7-1, Robbo.
Roberts marks the kick. Roberts is on centre wing. A veteran now in this caper of AFL football. Matthew Armstrong marks for North Melbourne. He's wide at right half forward. He kicks into the pocket. Looks for Longmire. Punched away by Turner. Burke is there. Well done by David Burke. Pretty confident for a young fellow. The kick is short. Down goes Rogers. The tackle by Schwass deemed as a little late. Rogers for Richmond will kick them into their forward half. Up in the Martin and Richardson direction. The ball spills to the back. Fairley, sloppy handball. That's the significance of the pressure being applied by the Richmond forwards. The ball for Nichols. He's smothered. Naish is smothered. Scott gets the handball. Smith for North Melbourne kicks back towards the centre of the ground. It's taken by Knights. Knights kicks inside 50. Sitting under it, Richardson. By gee, that was a hard one to mark. Is he getting a free kick? Yes, Reynolds with the footy. Richardson's ball. Michael Martin just questioning the validity of that decision. And he ran back, maybe using the elbow, do you think, Jared?
Yeah, well, he certainly did use the elbow a little bit, but it would have to be that he shepherded him, I would think, within 5 metres, or might be his birthday.
There's plenty of 50-50 decisions going to Richmond as North Melbourne make another change. This is Richardson. Matthew Richardson going for his second goal. Surely will kick the distance. It's pretty close. It's another Tiger goal. Well, they've now kicked 7-1, and they lead by 36 points.
Yes, Daffy's got 2 goals. Richardson's got a couple. Edwards has got a couple. And Greg Deere, not a noted goal kicker, has also got one. I had a feeling that was pretty well reasonable. But anyhow, we're not out there. And North Melbourne certainly have swung a change and about to put another one on.
Seven straight, plays 1. Broderick couldn't take it out of the centre. Free pushing wide. Rock there also, and it's Anthony Rock who gets it away towards Wayne Schwass. Had it and then lost it. Tough in the clinches. Free gets a hurry kick down to the half-forward line. Here they go again. Broderick onto the left foot, stabs him towards Edwards. Unable to take it cleanly. Laidley caught it half-back. Gets the hand pass away. Socket off the ground. May go to Gale. Doesn't get a kind tap, but he does well to hit it back towards Bond, who was tackled high. Here's a snap, and don't tell me they're off target at last. Listen to the booing. Oh, Rogers.
Well, I'll tell you somebody who has been on target and not noted for that, and that's the big fellow Matthew Richardson. I think we all know that his kicking let him down on a few occasions last year, but to date, this year, he's kicked 12 goals, 1. So he certainly has shown the benefits of a summer of practicing.
Martin gets a fist to it, so too does Gale. Roberts keeps it in play. Swings it back towards McKernan on centre wing. Under pressure from Knights. McKernan recovers, but his kick is smothered. Allison loses it to Rogers. He in turn is well tackled. McKernan kicks in danger. Umpire didn't see it.
That's Bond, I think, that's in all sorts of trouble behind play, Sandy.
Well, play goes on with Wayne Carey. Danger here for Richmond because Archer has it. Archer just inside 50 is going to have a shot. Is bending it back in towards full forward. Shepherded clear. Which way is it bounced?
Oh, on the back.
One behind. A push, in fact. A push on the last line of defence while at the other end of the ground.
Well, he's got to his feet, Chris Bond, but he looks very ordinary.
Let's have a look at the
doctor.
Here it is again.
Well, that's David Burke that's gone down.
That's not the one.
He's coming off the ground, though, being replaced by Stuart Maxfield.
Longmire, you can see there a terrific shot at what is confronting John Longmire. Should probably try and run around. He will, and kicks a goal. It may sound a little bit like an anti-climax, but that's North Melbourne's second goal in answer to Richmond's 7 goals, 1. And still the Tigers lead by 31 points.
Well, it was a desperate performance there by Scott Turner, but really a little bit careless. He just poleaxed John Longmire on the pole there. And it was always going to be a free kick.
Deere sets himself up against McKernan and wins it. Down to Maxfield, who pumps it long and direct down towards Edwards. Couldn't take it cleanly. Laidley leaves it for Smith, and he's well claimed the 200-gamer. Roberts tidies up. Off to Reynolds. To the outer side. Gale a chance. It bounces away from him, but he's quick. Needs help. Needs Knights. Schwass is on his hammer, close to the boundary line. Knights just shovels it over eventually, and the throw-in to take place on the outer side. Chris Bond having a spell. His side at the moment 31 points up. There's number 31 McKernan does battle in the ruck. Socket clear past Daffy towards King. He runs out of room. Well, after a sensational 8 minutes, the crowd almost seems hushed at the moment, perhaps wondering what on earth is going to happen next. Gale and McKernan. Brendan Gale down towards Michael. Got it out towards Maxfield. Hurried kick down towards the 50. Rossi Smith stands his ground. Good luck in his 200th.
Yeah, terrific body work there by Smith. Gets it across to Roberts. Roberts down the wing. Archer couldn't control it. Closely attended by Tape. And Dipper, how is Chris Bond?
Yeah, Robbo, he's okay. He's just a little bit winded after that hard knock, but expecting to see him back on the ground shortly.
Well, we'll have another look here. It's Allison running into Chris Bond there as the boundary throw-in takes place on centre wing outer side. Schwass throws his right foot at it. Gets pretty good distance under the circumstances, but it's taken by the Richmond captain, Tony Free. Very courageous player. Kicks down towards the half-forward area, fairly, but this is Miss Ross Smith. Smith's kick in towards half-forward for North Melbourne. It spills to the back. Carey off the ground. Quick thinking by Wayne Carey. Goes towards Longmire. Handball wide. Oh, back to Roberts. A bad fumble. In after it goes free. He's tackled. What will the umpire see in this?
Just been a bit out of sorts, Mark Roberts, this season. Perhaps that was just another example of it. Just fumbled what he should have taken. Wayne Schwass has moved into the centre of the ground after starting on Daffy. He's had 2 goals kicked on him early. David King's now moved over onto that player.
Greg Deere doing a good job, but it spills for Anthony Rock. His kick towards full forward. The ball spills now. Scott gets his left foot to it. Through goes Campbell. He kicks it clear, but the umpire has picked the free kick out. And it will probably go to Wayne Campbell. Nearly in the full-back position. He's probably about 25 yards out from the goal line. And he'll take the free kick. Robert Scott standing the mark.
Under 7.5 minutes remaining in this first quarter. Campbell has been the Tigers' best so far this season. Kicks towards Gale, close to the boundary line, and over it goes with young Burke.
This Campbell's being picked up by John Blakey, and he's actually only had the 1 possession to date. Blakey's a real shadow. Very good player for North Melbourne.
Just in the Roos attacking zone. They want a couple badly. Burke a chance to clear. Tumbles a puck down towards the centre of the ground. Daffy had it, but then lost it. His opponent, King, picks it up and kicks it high and long in towards full forward. Tigers are first to recover, and Deere, if it sits, could be away. The big man paddles it wide. Stevens gives chase. Stevens gets in front, but only for a moment. Well done by Turner. Great defensive work.
Well, just to run and help was terrific by Scott Turner.
Yeah, took the gamble. His man's 50 yards behind him, but he had relative control of the football and sought the refuge of the boundary line. Perhaps he won't be able to do that after this season.
Well, who knows? Campbell tries to use the body. Almost gets there. Archer charges at the football, but so too does Knights. And another throw, this time inside 50. This crowd has certainly built to over 50,000 now. Kellaway somehow gets out of trouble, kicks towards Michael Gale and Robert Scott on the outer side of the ground.
Just for the Tiger supporters at home, as we see Craig Scholl warming up, Matthew Richardson continues to play well up the ground. He's just inside the 50-metre square, or the centre square, I should say.
Maxfield very determined. Nothing much he could do there. And the boundary umpire will come into play. There's Matthew Richardson and Michael Martin, as Gerard has said, well down the ground. They'd be 75 metres from the Richmond goal. Greg Deere, Rock. Stevens can't get clear. It's tough and tight. Stevens looking to take possession of the ball. Just assert some authority.
Greg Deere just winning the first tap out, as we see North Melbourne making another change. Robert Scott coming off for Craig Scholl.
State player Craig Scholl starting on the bench. Anthony Stevens trying to get through. Oh, now the North Melbourne side get the ball rolling through Armstrong. He's kicked to full forward. Archer round onto the left foot goes Glenn Archer. Scrambles a kick, but Kernan High couldn't take the mark. David Burke was pretty good in there. Wigney's kick clears the players at half-back, goes to the back for Nichols. Handball. Stevens goes nowhere. Straight to the Richmond player, Gale. Then Knights. Knights squeezes a kick. Down towards the wing. It's punched to the back. North Melbourne have got the players at ground level. Ross Smith to tidy up. Kicks back towards half-forward, but a strong mark, a really strong mark, is taken by Gale, and he plays on for the Tigers.
Away goes Michael Gale up towards the centre wing, and the mark taken by Chris Naish. Well, one of their favourite sons was Dale Waitman. He was known as the Flea. Naish is known as the Tick. Laidley gets it away to King. King's kick goes back towards centre wing, and Deere stands in front of McKernan.
It's been good, Greg Deere, as is Michael Gale, who's had 9 possessions in the opening term. This is Stuart Maxfield.
You were going to add one, were you?
Oh, I thought about it.
Maxfield putting the Tigers inside 50 once again. Well, they all seem to lose sight of that. Mick Martin stayed at the back and appeared to hurt himself. In fact, hurt his wrist. He's going to try and take the mark now.
Well done.
And does, but favouring that left wrist. Laidley. Oh, under pressure. Recovers well and should find Roberts. North Melbourne trying desperately to steady things down. Armstrong in towards half-forward. No Carey. Whitney to tidy up at the back. Does so to Michael Gale. As Jared said, he's playing a blinder. He finds Maxfield on the outer side. The Tigers full of run. Maxfield towards Benny Gale. Over his head. Smith steadies to Keenan Reynolds. That ball was touched. Play on will be the call. Martin's going to have to be quick. He is going close to the boundary line, finding Stevens. Pops one up towards the wing. No one at home, however. Knights is there for Richmond. Scholes shepherded out. Knights' kick is effective. Richardson towards the forward zone. Keenan Reynolds gets a shocking bounce. Broderick gets it away towards Naish. Naish snaps and just misses. One behind.
7 goals to the Tigers. North Melbourne 2 goals. Archer, Capuano on the bench there for North Melbourne. Richmond lead by 32 points.
It's interesting, at the other end of the ground not so long ago we saw Longmire crashing into Wayne Carey. That's just what North Melbourne don't need to happen. They just seem a little bit confused at the moment.
Schwass kicks to himself and then clears the players at half-back. In goes Kellaway. Nothing much doing there by Duncan Kellaway. Boundary umpire will throw it in about, well, it's in Richmond's forward half by just 15 or 20 metres. Roberts gets it down in the direction of Armstrong. It's taken by his former Fitzroy teammate in Broderick. Broderick's kicking towards half-forward. It's punched away from Naish by Ross Smith. Oh, gee whiz, that was rough and tough by Ian Fairley. There's a struggle for possession at centre half-forward for the Tigers, and the umpire will come in and bounce. It has been a rip-roaring first term by Richmond. 7-2 to 2 goals. 2 goals each to Daffy, Matthew Richardson and Edwards. Up goes Gale. Kick clear, back towards the centre. Greg Deere, can he control the football? In goes Allison. A little toe poke to his own advantage. Goes in short, the pass looks all right. And Longmire, that was a pretty good mark out in front of his face because Scotty Turner was only 1 metre in arrears.
Won't be any more difficult marks than that one tonight with a slippery ball. That's the low percentage marking area right in front of the nose.
Longmire from 50 metres. The kick will hold up to the front of the square. At the back, Carey can't quite control the mark. And Whitney takes it over for a throw-in as Carey looks expectantly at the umpire, but is quite happy to get on with the caper.
North just trying to pitch a goal out of McKernan. They're throwing Mark Roberts onto the ball.
Under 2 minutes remaining. McKernan a snap. A great snap. Well, if they needed lifting, Corey McKernan may have just provided the hoist.
And you'd have to say well done to Dennis Pagan, because clearly that's why he sent him down there, just to see they can snatch a goal from somewhere, and that's exactly what he did. Out of the ruck. Gary Ablett top.
Ablett-esque.
Fantastic goal by Corey McKernan to give North, well, just a little sniff of the action.
1.5 minutes remaining. 1.5 very vital minutes, but McKernan keeping North in the hunt well and truly. Are the Tigers going to answer? Maxfield pushes, he gets a kick down towards half-forward. Rossi Smith stands tall. Out in front of King. Look out. Crunch. Gale has played an excellent quarter of football, so too Edwards.
And Knights.
And a throw-in to take place on that outer side.
Dominating the midfield, the Tigers. It was always going to be their strength coming into the game.
Reynolds and Edwards to contest. It's the former who whacks it round, but it's taken immediately by Knights off to Michael Gale. Gale centering kick. Big ask for Campbell, and he almost took a sensational grab. Gets it down to Benny Gale. Gale snaps with the left foot in towards full forward, and Richardson takes the mark. Wants to go on with it. Back you come. Back you come.
Well, this is certainly going to test his accuracy, isn't it?
Well,
12 goals, 1 to date.
You've given him a rap. Oh, and he's kicked it. He has kicked it. Matthew Richardson has 3. When the siren sounds, the Tigers are going to get a standing ovation for this quarter of football.
Yes, well, everything ran their way for the Tigers. Free kicks were 9-2. They perhaps got an easy mark paid to Stuart Edwards. Then they got probably a dubious free kick to Richardson. But they are well and truly dominating at present.
McKernan with a roundhouse right, belts it to half-forward, further on from Rock down towards Longmire and Turner at full-back. Turner defends, gets boot to ball just. Kellaway goes in, is there for a moment, and Longmire sees it over the line.
Just to give you some indication of Richmond's dominance, they've taken it inside the 50-metre zone 18 times compared to North Melbourne's 9.
Deere and Roberts lock arms. Tigers have the numbers at the back. Knights hurriedly gets boot to ball. It passes Burke, and a frustrated Corey McKernan will contest a throw.
Well, quarter time can't come quick enough for North Melbourne. There's nothing to suggest that they can't come out in the second quarter and really square things up, but with 17 seconds to go, they really are looking for the breather.
Deere down in front of Broderick. And they've got boot to ball and going probably 25 metres. Stuart Maxfield and Wayne Schwartz. Discuss the scoreboard, and the umpire said, I've had enough of this.
Well, that's pedantic if ever I've seen it.
So he's given a free kick to Maxfield.
Free kicks 10-2 favouring Richmond.
Maxfield towards Edwards and Gale territory. Neither can take it. Close to siren time. Kellaway gets the hand pass away. This could be the last kick of the quarter. Oh. It could be a goal to Rogers. Oh! Right on siren time. It's quarter time. In one of the most extraordinary quarters we've seen for a long, long time. Richmond, you are getting a standing ovation. Rogers gets his first. Listen to this crowd.
And what a way to finish the quarter, just when North Melbourne thought that they had some refuge of the quarter-time break. The Tigers came up with another one. Quick hands from the 50-metre line. And yes, that was a fantastic goal to Rogers. So Richmond will go into that quarter-time huddle probably as pumped as they have ever been in the last few years. They really have come to the party tonight. You said it was graduation day, Sandy. Well, they've gone all the way, haven't they?
Well, at the moment they've passed with flying colours, but there are 3 quarters to go. At quarter time, Richmond 9-2, 56 have stunned North Melbourne and many of this big crowd. 3 straight, 18. And stand at 10-2 in Richmond's favour. One of them went the way of Stu Maxfield right here. A lot in this, or is this what you call pushing and shoving, gentlemen?
I think it was very pedantic, but that, as a resultant free kick there, Richmond got their last goal.
This is what happened to Bond midway through. Didn't appear to be a lot in it. Both players going for the ball.
So here we go, second quarter, McKernan wins it, but straight down to Knights. A high kick towards the half-forward line. Gale unable to take it. Stevens hurriedly out wide towards the wing. Bond leads in the chase. After him is Matty Armstrong. The boundary line is the winner on this occasion on the outer side.
Well, clearly North Melbourne have to gain some composure in this first couple of minutes. They need a couple of goals. And there we see the matchup that we thought would happen at the start of the game. Bond on the Swass.
Knights off the ground, down towards half-forward. Richardson tried a clever little kick, which eventually worked. Daffy, have you done it again, Nick? You've done it again. There's number 3 to the duck. That would really hurt North Melbourne.
I think so.
Yes, well, you said it all, and Matthew Knights just continuing on his good form there. Geez, well, when the ball just pops in your hands like that, you know you're having a pretty good night. That's his third, pretty handy one for the duck. And at the other end, Stuart Wigney also doing well on Wayne Carey.
Well, North Melbourne have just got to start to get the ball around the centre.
It's a good way to do it with a big punch.
Big thump down towards half-forward. Anthony Rock couldn't control it. Stevens, brilliantly tackled by Matthew Knights. Oh, very fierce handball towards Mark Roberts. Down goes Stevens. Knights ties him up. And the umpire surely will call for a bounce 30, 35 metres from the North Melbourne goal.
They just don't look sharp at the moment, North Melbourne. They haven't really played all that well in the regular season.
Gee, they haven't been allowed much, have they? The Tigers have been at them right from the start. This is Callaway. Callaway's kick across his right shoulder. High flyer at the back. No mark. Schwass is tackled. Bond. The high flyer was Burke. And Matthew Knights underneath that congestion of 3 or 4 players. And the umpire will call for a bounce. 60 metres out from the North Melbourne goal. The Tigers have kicked the first goal of the second term. McKernan gets it down to Scott. He's dumped by his own player, Schwass. And they're fierce at the football, the Tigers.
John Northey did say before the game that they were hoping to implement the same sort of pressure that the West Coast put on North Melbourne last week, and you'd have to say today that they've followed the instruction to the letter.
Oh, brilliantly read there by Scott. Handball into Rock's path. Rock's kick to the goal square. The ball spills. Tate can't break clear. Archer strong. That hasn't gone far enough. Freeze after Scott. In goes Tate again. And the ball hurried over for a boundary throw in. And the Tigers' spirit quite evident, because when a player does something good, there's 2 or 3 in there to give him a pat of encouragement.
Throw in the left forward pocket. A snap is good. And Archer has kicked a much-needed goal to North Melbourne. Glenn Archer gets his first, and the Northerners first for the second term. They are 4 straight, but they trail. The Tigers who are 10-2.
Yes, and Archer just reading Greg Deer's tap pretty well there. Bit of a lucky kick, but all you can do is put him through the middle. Spent some time on the bench in the first quarter, but he's got himself away to a good start in the second. 62 plays 24. Couple of quick ones will bring North right back into this game. It's Matthew Armstrong who kicks him down to half-forward. Tate cuts it off. From half-back, Tate kicks towards Gale. Forced to use the fist. Fairley looks to recover first. Gets it away quickly towards Armstrong. This time he goes deep in towards goal. No one at home. And Turner is there on the last line of defence. Turner kicks back towards Gale. Fairley is with him. Scott tries to sneak out the back door, runs into Gale. Kellaway's hand pass comes back to him, and then he cops one high, and he'll take a free kick. Initiated the hand pass to his skipper, got it back, was taken high. So he goes towards Richardson, and just the experience there of Martin giving him an ever so slight nudge as he kicks towards half forward once again. McKernan couldn't mark. Free puts the hand pass dangerously so over the top. This could prove costly.
Turner chances his arm. He misses, but the support is good. And Campbell comes away. Kicks wide towards the centre. But here comes the charging McMartin.
Handball back towards the centre. A little bit of pressure there for Armstrong. Oh, was that hot there, Nichols? But he did well, Trent Nichols. Robert Scott, the feigned handball for Stevens. The ball spills. In there is Daffy. Now Knights. The ball is hot. In goes Campbell. Campbell after 2 BOGs in the first 3 games. Kicks to half forward. No mark to Richardson. King under pressure. The ball is very, very hot. And Brendan Gale has taken a mark. Wide. Oh, loose player on his own. Have a guess who it is. Nick Duffy. He's kicked 3. Along with Matthew Richardson.
And the turnover came with a look-away handball from Robert Scott, which is almost a mortal sin when the game is so hot, the pressure is so immense. You've just got to be smarter than that and just pinpoint your handballs. Look to where you're giving them.
Well, Daffy can make him pay, Gerard, because he's kicking from only 40 metres. Certainly get the distance, and he's a pretty good kick for goal under normal circumstances. No.
Well, certainly Scott will be sighing a breath of relief. Let's just have a look at this handball again. You see him just trying to be a little bit too skilled on that occasion. You've just got to look under those circumstances and belt it on the bloke's chest.
63 plays 24 with just under 15 minutes remaining in this second term. And at the moment, North Melbourne not making a huge impression on the scoreboard. Broderick through without it. Schwass couldn't take it, neither could Laidley. But look at the pressure he's under. They've got him like a pack of dingoes.
It's their forwards in particular that are just making it so difficult. North Melbourne love to run the ball out. The Richmond forwards are just absolutely working OT. That's overtime, Sandy.
From the bounce, back towards Duncan Kellaway. Edwards goes to ground. Knights has it trapped between his legs. He gets it out now towards Kellaway. A short kick only as far as Schwass. High towards Scott and Gale. Well done, Gale. Playing an excellent game. 12th possession towards the forward pocket region. Maxfield was there. Rock had it and lost it, but he shouldn't have. Daffy again is knocked up getting kicks in towards goal. Smith marks and plays on.
It's touched.
Richardson.
Now that's an example of what I was talking about. If you keep putting pressure on the defenders, they can't clear the ball efficiently, and a sprayed kick falls in Matthew Richardson's hands.
And Robert Scott leaves the arena.
I think this one must have been touched, Sandy. I'm not sure, but I think it was. And as you said, Robbo,
the kick that Ross Smith marked, I would have said that was play on, most definitely.
But the pressure just came like a swarm of bees.
Richardson for his 4th.
Who's he kicking the ball with?
A push, is it not? Yes. So Reynolds to take it on the last line of defence.
Keenan Reynolds, not much room to move in, but he gets good distance with the kick out to the 50-metre area. Nearly the mark there to McKernan. It's been paid, much to the disdain of the Tiger supporters. Corey McKernan kicks the ball quite nicely out towards the right half forward area. The ball spills to the back. Whitney just a little slow. Scholl was onto it. In goes Tapey, strong and hard, fierce at the football. Handball to create for Whitney. Whitney thumps it in towards half forward. Contest there between Martin and Richardson. Martin nearly took the mark. Away to King, but it spills now for Maxfield. Then Knights. Knights' kick goes as far as centre half forward, where Broderick gathers. Broderick snapshot for goal. He's kicked another one. Broderick kicks his first. And the goal-scoring spree for the Tigers continues. They're 11-3. North Melbourne are 4 goals.
Yeah, well, Broderick has had a pretty interesting battle with Matthew Armstrong in the middle. There's a little bit of finicky stuff that did come off on that occasion. Bit of a fluky goal, but I'm sure Broderick will put it down as a ripper.
So the kid from Camperdown gets his first. They go into attack again. Through Gale down towards the half-forward line. Sock it off the ground. Back towards Gale again. Fisted clear of him. Stevens skis along the slippery surface. Recovers. Bounces his way across the half-back line. North Melbourne desperate for goals. He drifts it up in towards the centre. Broderick is there. Kellaway is there. Neither can take it. Out it comes to Schwass, but there's been a whistle. And a North Melbourne free kick. Comes back to Nichols. Down towards Longmire. 1, 2 grabs. Fisted clear. No mark. Play on the call. Nichols does well as he charges over the top. Carey's been quiet. He shoots towards goal. And he kicks one for North Melbourne. Wayne Carey, only his second kick for the night. But it's his first goal. And his side's fifth. 5 straight, plays 11-3.
It all started with a Tim Watson type jump from Nichols. They appear to be coming into vogue. I saw one during yesterday's games, I think. Here it goes. And a pretty smart handball. Nichols got benched shortly after that. But I'm sure Wayne Carey was pretty pleased to be on the end of it because he has been relatively quiet.
Go forward again, North Melbourne. Towards half forward. Gatherers by Rock, but have a look at that gang tackle. Armstrong comes away with the football. Goes for goal. At the back, Turner. Judged it nicely. The kick not quite having enough carry. And Scott Turner with the football at fullback for the Tigers. Kicks it outside 50. High flyer. Oh, nearly the mark to Burke. Couldn't quite grasp it. Close to the line, Campbell squeezes a kick, but only as far as Ian Fairley. Fairley's kick in towards centre half forward. Carey couldn't take the mark. Whitney quickly onto his left foot. Didn't go far. Burke tidies up. Bond's hand pass. Oh dear. The Richmond player Gale just falling over. Schwass, little kick is all right. Roberts is marked. Now Mark Roberts goes in towards centre half forward. High flyer there was Anthony Rock. The ball spills for Allison. Was it too low? No, the hand pass wide for Roberts. Roberts this time goes for goal and misses by a long way. Misses everything.
Well, one wonders who he was actually short passing that to. There was only a couple of small players in the middle of the ground. Scott ended up, well, Rocket was, I think, going up for the grab.
Turner to bring it back into play. The vital 10 minutes of this game about to unfold. McKernan and Deere, the flyers. Advice-like tackle is put on Matthew Armstrong. That's eventually taken over the line. A free kick.
He certainly lifted Matthew Armstrong as the umpire has a bit of a slip and slide. He must have been watching Dipper at the start of the game.
Allison played that well.
Centering in towards half forward. Longmire came steaming out with Carey, but in front is Sticky. Jamie Tate.
Oh, look at this.
And a chance to run here. Look at him. They got Whitney on the outer side. And away he goes. The wandering minstrel of football. Ambles up towards half forward. Richardson comes over the top. Rogers is there. King is also there for North Melbourne. So too is Laidley. And it's the latter who tidies up. Back towards the half-back flank. Longmire and Gale. Both there. Longmire defending. Crowd has built to well over 50,000. From the throw-in, they'll do it all again. Wonderful atmosphere, particularly if you're a Tiger fan. They lead by 39 points. Schwass. Campbell, well done. Look at the tackling. Absolutely fierce. Stuart Maxfield and Wayne Schwass disentangle themselves. They've been at it all night. Maxfield probably saying, well, just check the scoreboard at the moment. Fairley, the Williamstown fisherman, hooks it round his body. Goes towards centre wing. McKernan gets the hand pass away to Stevens. North Melbourne go down towards the half-forward line. Carey and Turner. Carey, soccer-like tactics. Oh, the skill of the man. Beautifully done. Archer will have a shot. 35 out.
But still, Carey had to battle hard, didn't he, Sandy? You know,
yes.
I mean, Scotty Turner did a pretty good job. just caught at the end there when he may have slipped just then.
Yep.
Yeah, well, going to the ground is really just not on in this day and age. Sometimes you can't avoid it. So you can see the repercussions on that occasion. Carey kept his feet and ended up with the football.
Archer looking for his second goal of the quarter. 45-degree angle. Starts at left, and that is an atrocious kick. Out of bounds on the full.
Nash coming on for Stuart Maxfield.
Well, you'd have to give the points to the Richmond defence. At this stage, they've restricted North Melbourne to just to 5 goals. That's a poor kick by Whitney. Gathered by Stevens. Handball. Only as far as Free's kick. Everybody getting out of the road of it. Gee whiz, you get down there, Jared, you would have got a kick then.
It was probably the best example I've seen this year as an up-country mongrel punt.
Tony Free, the culprit. But he cleared for the Tigers. It's still within 50 metres of goal for North Melbourne. They've got the numbers. Scholl gives away a little bit of ground. Stevens, awkward ball. That could be nearly a free kick too. No, maybe the ball over before Michael Gale's tackle applied. So a throw in. Maxfield having a spell on the bench for Richmond. It's been worked another 35, 40 metres away from the North Melbourne goal. Bond, handball, too fierce. Archer and Free. Was Free tackled when he didn't have the football? No, says the umpire. So on the right-hand forward point of the square in North Melbourne's attacking half, the umpire will bounce. It's about 75 metres from the Kangaroos' goal. They've kicked just 5 goals against Richmond's 11-3. And we're getting close to half-time. Knights tries to clear the pack. Scott's tackled hard and fierce. Archer, Schwartz can't clear the ball. And the umpire will bounce once again.
Much tighter quarter now, Robbo. We've seen just 4 goals scored for the term, 2 to each side, after the Tiger onslaught in the first quarter.
More importantly, from Richmond's point of view, and disappointingly from North Melbourne's point of view, they haven't made too many inroads, the Kangaroos, in the Richmond lead at quarter time.
No. Tony Free's kick is well smothered, but it ricochets straight to Matthew Knights. His kick is high. Smith chanced his arm and belted it clear. Rock gives it back to the running Smith. Celebrate your 200 and find Carey just on the 50. He can go for home. He can go for home if he wants to. And he's going to let one go from 55. It's a drop punt. It's high and it's going to be close. It's made it. Great goal. Carey gets his second. Now they close the gap.
That's what makes Wayne Carey such a champion player. He is down, there's no question that Whitney's had his measure for the entirety of the game. He lucked out with a goal earlier in the quarter, but on that occasion, just pure class got in that one. Just kept battling and battling. Got a vital one.
McKernan gets it down. Schwartz, can he break clear? Well done by Wayne Schwartz, leading from the front. Armstrong's kick was ordinary. Free's a chance to mop up. Carey goes in hard. Tackles Tony Free, didn't have the football. So captain on captain, and Richmond come out on top. Tony Free, 2 broken jaws in, 6 or 7 months of football. Ordinary kick again by that player, but Bond is there to gather for the Tigers. Gets past and confidently taps it on the ground once. Kicks to half forward, but it breaks down. The mark is taken by King. King for North Melbourne at centre half back. Now he's asked to play on. He goes straight down the ground towards centre half forward. The ball spills. McKernan, handball. Carey, can he get another one? Carey pumps it towards goal. Longmire and Turner. A free kick, is it? No, it's been given the all clear. Greg Deere in a bit of trouble behind play. Attended by one of the trainers. But he's a tough customer, Greg Deere. Quite durable in this caper of AFL football. Boundary throw in Carey and Whitney. Carey down to the front. Archer, what's he done? Glenn Archer! Maradona, anyone you name, a great goal! Sandy, I can't think of that bloke. He's Eric Cantona, wasn't he?
Correct. But he preferred the crowd.
Oh, gee whiz, that's great stuff.
Robbo, take us through it again. You're pumped up. What a great
This is enormous stuff, because North Melbourne have just struggled, and that's another indication of how much pressure they're putting on. Glenn Archer had to hack it out of mid-air.
So they're coming back hard. 11-3 plays 7 straight. Deere gets it out of the centre for the Tigers, down towards the 50-metre line. Richardson comes charging out, loses it to his teammate. Can they offer a reply? Not at the moment. King defends. The ex-Port Melbourne star. Gary.
Look at this fella. Is he lifted?
Keep him out. Look out. Armstrong's gone.
Advantage.
Burke steadies. Back towards half-forward.
Free kick.
Giving away the free kick.
Sandy, if the Tigers hadn't got a goal there, the tackle by Tony Free on Matthew Armstrong was an absolute beauty.
Yep. Inspirational stuff. North making a change. Blakey's coming off for Roberts. Look out, you're gone, Anthony Rock this time. Tackling sensational.
Free kick to Richmond. Again, Jared, they're trying to get past the tackles. They just can't break them.
Nice.
Tackling outstanding.
Passes in towards Edwards. Tigers needing a steadier. He's kicked 2, both of those in the first quarter.
And anybody that thinks tackling is overrated in this game really mustn't be seeing this one, because that's really what's created the goal for Richmond here. A Tony Freed tackle, and that one there was just outstanding.
Edwards from 42 metres. Tiger fans love it. He's got his third. And a very handy answering goal, Jared.
Just what they needed, because North Melbourne, there's no doubt that they've lifted. They've regrouped somewhat. They'll go into half-time a little bit buoyed, particularly if they can get another 1 or 2. But just getting back to that tackling, the statistics evidently from yesterday's Footscray Melbourne game was something like 50 tackles to Footscray, 12 to Melbourne, and the result was a debacle for the Demons.
So Richmond go forward again from the ruck contest. Campbell to half forward. Punched back towards the front of the pack. Brendan Gale out into the path. Campbell created, then nearly got the chance for a goal. Now Naish. Oh, he usually laps them up. Into the pocket. Duffy. Given a little bit of space, and he's marked in the right forward pocket on a difficult angle. But he's a goal kicker. That's what he's employed for. He's kicked 3. Again, distance, not a problem. Runs around to give himself a little bit more space. Kicks for goal. And misses. So a bit of an anticlimax there. Tiger supporters, young, old, whatever. They're pretty happy. At this stage, their team leads 12-4 to 7 goals straight. So still a margin of 34 points.
It has been a pretty even quarter, and it's, I guess, best indicated by the fact that in the first quarter we said it was 18-9 in favour of Richmond inside 50. This quarter, it's 14-12.
Knights at the back of the pack under pressure. Has put it out of bounds. Just over 3 minutes remaining.
Good crowd,
Excellent
Sandy.
crowd, Robbo. Yes, it's built considerably. They were looking at 50. Well, I'm sure they've got that. Laidley's kick. Whitney comes over the top. Michael Gale waits down, gives it to Deere, whose kick is smothered. Gale, it's an attempted punch away. He's taken over the line.
Once again, North Melbourne's put McKernan down into the square. Longmire's come out to centre half forward. Archer's well up the ground, and Carey following the ball almost. Getting dragged right down.
Michael Gale being forced off the ground for a moment with the blood rule.
You're just looking at how much blood is on his knees, Sandy.
He should have kept his socks up.
Yeah.
Maxfield on.
How's he having to go for the blood rule when you're on such a roll that Michael Gale is?
Yeah, exactly.
Be dirty.
Here's his brother doing the ruck work, and Smith also getting into the act. This time Knights keeps it in. He bends it round towards Mick Martin, who thumps it down to Kellaway. Hurriedly onto his left foot. He goes back into half forward once again. Some shepherding sees David King able to take the mark. The Junkyard Dogs away on the outer side. Laidley. Rogers gives chase and he pressures him all the way. Marvellous to see. Campbell round his body. Richardson on his own. He's off.
Dropped the mark, I think.
He's gone.
Well, don't drop your chin now, Matthew.
To centre wing. Carey. Into half forward towards Longmire and Archer. Both there. Waiting down was Knights. Couldn't take it cleanly, but he battles hard to regain the football. Controls it to Kellaway. They've got a run here. Comes from Broderick. Across the centre. Down towards left half forward came the kick from Rogers. He finds Daffy. Chips into half forward proper. And Campbell takes the mark. 8th kick for Wayne Campbell. Boy from Golden Square in Bendigo, an area that has produced so many good players, particularly for the Carlton Football Club.
Because he only had 1 kick in the first quarter, so his second quarter has been far more important.
Flat-looking putt. Drops into the square. Daffy! Well, North Melbourne's duck might be firing on all fours, but the Tiger duck certainly is.
Yeah, well, he's kicked 2 goals for the quarter. He's had 6 kicks in this quarter after a magnificent start. He started on Wayne Swass, got 2 early goals on him. Swass a bit of an experiment, perhaps trying to unsettle the Tiger plans by starting him on the half-back flank. But Daffy is really having a big night.
Just over a minute left in the second term. North Melbourne under pressure, trying to clear the ball from the centre. Scott receiving from Armstrong. Scott gets his right foot to it, but a good mark taken by Whitney in front of Carey. So Whitney would be pretty pleased at this stage. Carey has kicked 2 goals. Broderick can't break the tackle, but gets the hand pass away to David Burke. Burke's kick in towards half forward, very good. Richardson leads and marks on his chest. Richardson perhaps too far out to score, but he's going for the big bomb. Gets underneath it and off the side of his boot. May go out on the full, I would think. No, it's been thumped over. Matthew Richardson may be a little disappointed with that effort, but he's done reasonably well. So far he's kicked 3 goals. Not quite up to half-time. Fairley doing the ruck work with Brendan Gale. Over the top is Martin, going nowhere. Naish ties him up, and the umpire will call for a bounce about 30 metres from the Richmond goal. Well, North Melbourne do well to hold the Tigers out. They kicked a goal in the dying seconds of the first quarter. Naish appealing for the free kick. Kick clear by Fairley. Gather was by Scott. Can the Kangaroos get the goal in the dying seconds? Roberts goes to half forward. The siren will sound, and it is half-time. There will be no further score. And in a brilliant first half, Richmond have been enormous. And they look fairly pleased with themselves after adding 4 goals to North Melbourne's 4 goals. They lead 13-4 to 7 goals straight at half-time.
Yes, they've increased the margin only by 2 points. But the important thing from a Tiger point of view is that North Melbourne has not been able to cut the lead. Their main contributors have been Nick Daffy, who's booted 4. Stuart Edwards has 3. Matthew Richardson has a 3. Whilst for North Melbourne, it's a very different scenario. Glenn Archer and Wayne Carey each have 2 goals. Repeating the half-time scoreline here at the MCG. The Tigers by 40 points, 13-4 to 7 straight.
2-1, that's the secret tonight.
And John Longmire starting the second half on the bench for North Melbourne.
13-4, plays 7 straight. Deer and Capuano. Rock. North wanting a lightning start. Stevens may provide it. 45 metres out. He sets sail for home and misses to the right.
Positive start for the North Melbourne, though. Corey McKernan in the goal square. He's obviously the elected full forward for the moment, anyway.
Turner to bring it back into play. Straight down the middle. Carey has his name all over it. Close to the man on the mark. into half forward. Richmond defence and Michael Gale standing strong. Chips wide, but it's effective. And Jamie Tate has it almost down to the half-back line. Kicks towards the wing. Off the back of the packet comes to Bond, who drifts it up towards Richardson territory at half-forward. North Melbourne have the numbers. They go back to half-forward once again. Allison trying to do the work from behind. Knights was there. King caught. Well, somehow he got boot to ball. And he finds Carey. Didn't travel the required distance. He gets caught. Gets it away to Scholl. Hurried high kick in towards McKernan. Edged out.
Got to be a third kick for McKernan. Too blatant.
Yep. Pushed out as John Longmire looks on from the bench. Corey McKernan will have a shot. Kicked one in the first quarter.
And once again, Robbo, it looked like it was pretty much in the side.
It didn't matter anyway. Archer took the mark, I suppose, Jerry.
Yep.
They're 39 points down, and now 38 points down.
Well, in the context of the game, those two misses may prove critical for North Melbourne.
It's good to get one early in the piece just to get the momentum, the confidence going again. They've restructured their side a little bit. Roberts is doing some mobile ruck work around the ground. They've got McKernan down there.
Yeah,
should have got some goals.
I was thinking exactly the same thing. The kick in goes towards right half back, left half back actually for Richmond, and the mark is taken by Wigney. Wigney plays on, kicks it down towards the half forward line, all over the top of Brendan Gale, but no mark. Broderick, now Scott, he couldn't get clear. Campbell gets the handball wide. Brendan Gale again, tackled. King was the tackler. Broderick gets his left foot to it. Goes about 40 metres, punched away by Ross Smith, gathered by Bond. Bond quickly onto the right foot towards the full forward area. The ball spills. No, the free kick has been awarded to Keenan Reynolds against Edwards. And the North Melbourne defender will relieve. Not by foot, but by hand. He gets it to Laidley. Laidley goes in short. Risky, but the mark is taken by Armstrong. He plays on. North Melbourne look just a little bit more intense at the start of this second half. Taken by Rock. Rock runs along the half-forward line. Kicks in towards the full-forward area. You can see the 50-metre line in the foreground there. Jamie Tate goes for the safety of the line. And a boundary throw-in will take place. Anthony Rock just not quite getting enough penetration off that left foot. Capuano up against Greg Deere. Deere does well. Tape has tackled. The ball spills. Rock is the tackler. Tape going nowhere, and the umpire will call for a bounce. 50 metres from the North Melbourne goal. The Kangaroos have come out quite hard at the start of the second half. Callaway gets his left foot to it. Gets it down nearly to the wing, and it will have another throw-in. David Burke, the player in picture, of course, son of one of the all-time Richmond legends, Francis Burke.
Capuano and Deere jostle for front spot. Schwass. Stuart Maxfield also having a spell. Charles and Prescott. Deere. Roberts over the top. Burke asks the question. Ball spills free to Campbell. Gives it to his captain. Can't get a kick, stolen by Scott. Robert Scott into half forward. It's just about the best player on the ground. Michael Gale.
Well, here's his competition.
The Knights in the middle. Burke running wide. He looks to go the other side.
It's a great moment
by Archer. Falling away. He'll bring it out from halfback. Going towards Carey. A thumping fist down, but straight down the throat of Scott. He pumps it down towards full forward. Tony Free leads in the race for Richmond. A bit of time and a clever kick. No, it floats over the line on the full. Well, he was looking for just to make a few metres. But going reasonably flat out. Wasn't a good kick. So Allison will bring it back into play. He'll centre it, wanting Carey. Can't take it. Kellaway to tidy up. Has a bit of time on that outer side. Gives it to Wigney, who's done pretty well. Oh, stolen. Scholl blocks it. Opens the door for King. He may pay heavily for this, but King is away to the right and puts through a behind. North have had their chances early on in this third quarter.
Another one of those, what you'd classify as look-away handballs there, going unstuck. 82 plays 45. Again, Turner to kick it back in for the Tigers. Gets outside 50. Wigney been paid the mark. Maybe just a little fortunate. But the ball is with Stuart Wigney. He's wide of centre-half back.
He's got good numbers, though. 10 possessions.
High kick from only 2 strides start. The ball spills back towards the centre of the ground. Armstrong, beautiful. Great hand pass. Creative there for Schwass. Schwass under pressure towards half forward. Tate does well. Gathers the ball and gets the handball back to Wigney. Wigney looking in trouble. Handball goes nowhere. Scott tries to throw it on his boot. Still, oh, gee whiz, you might be lucky if you get away with that. No, you're not.
Look at the look of disbelief.
Well, it wasn't very well disguised, and Craig Scholl has got the ball deep at right half forward. Goes in towards centre half forward. Looks for the captain, but the third in line, Capuano, has taken a very good mark. Just a youngster in terms of games played, but a promising youngster at that, Matthew Capuano, with the football for the Kangaroos.
Yeah, saw him play a couple of good games at the MCG on Friday nights late in the season last year. There's a lot of competition for the tall spots at North Melbourne. He just has continued to force his way through, Matthew Capuano, a very talented player, as we saw with him taking that big mark.
Well, if the Kangaroos are to be a chance, he's got to kick a goal here. It looks good.
Post.
No, it's hit the post. Well, they've now kicked 4 behinds in the third quarter so far, 7-4 to 13-4. So they've bridged the gap, but not by goals, just by behinds. Turner again.
Burke in front. Wigney again, picking up plenty of possessions. Broderick to half forward. Martin and Fairley both there. Rogers soccers off the ground deep into the Richmond zone, and it slides over the line with Edwards for a throw-in. Scholl on the sideline. Gale, Stevens, caught. Gets boot to ball, however. Up towards the wing. Capuano had it for a moment. Now he has it again. He tumbles it up towards centre wing, able to see Duncan Kellaway cut across to take a timely mark. An interesting kick towards Bond and Campbell. The latter snares it, gives it to Deere, who lopes away, then kicks long, in towards full forward. Martin sets himself, fisted away, the pack down in front. Martin quick to recover. Well done, Mickey Martin. Away he comes, trying desperately to lift the ruse. He kicks up towards King Carey. With him is Wigney. Look at the desperation of Wigney, and a clever little tap out towards Gale. Oh, they're doing it well. Well done by Wigney. Off to Richardson. They're going now. Michael Gale, 60 metres and closing from 55 into full forward. Capuano sets himself. Can't mark. The duck Daffy is there. Can't take it. Scott weaves his way out of trouble, and he bounces clear.
Well done by the Kangaroos. They faced a very determined Richmond side coming forward then, but the ball defensively kicked out towards where Matthew Richardson has marked. Looking to go short. Kicks into the man on the mark. The ball spills for Rogers. Chance for Edwards. Handball, Campbell. Not far enough. Ross Smith to defend for the Kangaroos. Kicks out towards the wing. Carey, good mark. 1 against 2. And the North Melbourne skipper is marked. He's behind the wing. Kicks looking for Allison. Allison does well. Handball off. Terrific play by the Kangaroos. Stevens goes for goal. It might bounce through for a behind. 2 behinds kicked by Anthony Stevens, both in this third quarter. He's had 8 kicks and 2 hand passes. 82, plays 47. Turner again. In towards half-back. Punch by Gale, back towards the North Melbourne goal. Scholl knocks it back behind him. In goes Stevens. Handball, Allison. Short pass by Allison. Capuano leaves it for Armstrong. Scott loves it, no. Shocker off the left foot by Robert Scott. High. Again, no mark. North Melbourne might scramble something. Yes, they do. No, they don't. It's touched off the boot, so a boundary throw in the left forward pocket. Anthony Rock not able to capitalise. Plenty of pressure being applied by the Tigers. Have another look at Anthony Rock's snapshot at goal, and
what's big goal on board?
Well, there's life after football. Capuano. Deer. Broderick. Across the full back line. Goes Broderick. Short. All right. Campbell. From centre half-back, Wayne Campbell. A high kick in towards the centre of the ground. Punched away by Martin. Quite fiercely. Stevens to Scholl. It's good play. Scholl across the half-forward line. A very important take here. Burke must get a free kick. Matthew Capuano had to give it away. David Burke was going to take the mark.
Well, he made the mistake there of just making his eyes look directly at the player. He could have achieved the same thing with his eyes on the ball and perhaps not given away the free kick.
So the Assumption College youngster goes towards Broderick. In towards half forward. No Knights. Rossi Smith. Game number 200. And he wobbles an ugly punt down towards half forward. Capuano's got to put the skates on. Tight, dodging and weaving. Gives it to the kid from Camperdown. And away he goes to Whitney. Whitney gets clear just in time to get his kick down towards the 50. Out comes Edwards, claimed by Keenan Reynolds. The ball spills free out the back. Player allowed to go on. Bond strikes the tackle. Kicks from 50 metres. Kicks and kicks a goal! Chris Bond gets his first, and a telling one for the Tigers.
Yes, well done to Chris Bond. He was well, almost knocked out in the early part of the second quarter, but he was shaken, not stirred, and he's gone on to kick a pretty good goal there as Bond.
Well, the first goal of the second half kicked by the Tigers, and it's taken about 12 minutes. Again they go forward. Daffy is kicked to left half, right half forward. Awkward bounce. Richardson gets a fist to it. Campbell, Broderick, Campbell again, unselfishly. Daffy for number 5. Yes, thank you very much. Nick Daffy. Birthday, Christmas, Father's Day. I don't know, Nick, but it's your day, son. 15-4, play 7-5.
I think he might know something that perhaps Nick doesn't know if you're giving him Father's Day. However, what a goal, and how often do you see it happen? 12 minutes, North Melbourne dominated play, had the ball in their forward line for most of it. Then forward they go and Bond, and the Duck get goals.
15-4 plays 7-5. Capuano, but it's Knights. Roberts.
In fact, there's only 2 people at Richmond that are married in the club.
Well, we won't worry about that now. Ross Smith. He is, and he kicks down towards the half-forward line, where Anthony Rock takes the mark. In towards Carey and Archer. The latter almost took it. Burke gets a hurried kick towards the half-back flank. It ricochets clear, bouncing towards the boundary line. Going to be kept in by overrun by Matty Armstrong. And eventually socket over the line. For throw-in. Listen to those Tiger fans. Almost down to centre wing. Campbell over the top. Recovers well. It's a good play to Kellaway. Fisted away from Martin. That was by Richardson. Caught behind Martin. He knew he had to get the fist there.
Campbell's had 10 kicks and 8 handballs, Sandy, so 18 possessions so far in the game.
Well, he's just had a sensational start to the year. There's another one, although the kick was smothered. Armstrong's kick is high towards Carey, who is sandwiched out of it. It'll sit nicely for Kellaway. Awkwardly onto the left boot. Kicks towards half forward. Do it again, Smith.
Player.
Yes. Well, it's a big night for him. Laidley comes wide and finds Matty Armstrong. Tasmanian left footer is forced onto the right. Turner takes the hand pass and away they go. Nice. Another left footer. Long kick into half forward. Edwards got a hand to it. So too did Martin as he gets the hand pass away. And Dean Laidley wobbles it over the line as Richardson picks himself up. Might have just copped a flick to the head, but he's okay.
A couple of changes here. Blakey coming on for Armstrong, and Nash coming off the ground, replaced by Maxfield.
Brendan Gale takes it out of the ruck contest to Broderick. Only as far as Mickey Martin. Handball over the top. Laidley, awkward ball. He's going to get run down. There's no easy kicks, Dean. You've got to get rid of it quickly. Anthony Stevens could vouch for that. And the ball has been marked by Kellaway in the middle of the ground. He's been a grand defender, Kellaway. Hard man at the football. Kicks towards centre half forward. Punched back by the North Melbourne defence, back towards the centre of the ground. Rogers does well. Gets it down to Bond. Bond to right half forward. Oh, what a leap and mark! One of the most exciting young talents in AFL, Matthew Richardson. Plays on and Campbell is marked 50 metres.
Yeah.
Got to get taken back. Makes an absolute certainty of it now. And Campbell, with his 19th possession, will kick his first goal for the game, and the Tigers 16th. From the square he kicks it. Wayne Campbell, a very good contributor for the Tigers. Stevens straight off the ground to be replaced by Armstrong.
And you just have a look at Matthew Richardson's big fly there. Good grab under these conditions. And he goes on to give it to Campbell, who actually only had one possession in the first quarter.
No surprise. Stevens off the ground. Deer tries to flick it out the back door. Knight burrows in, head down, bottom up. No one able to get it out. It was interesting during that passage of play, the 50 taken down, that Wayne Carey ran right down the ground and had a word to a few, including Ross Smith, and then turned around and went straight back again. It's on Richmond's half-forward line, pushing back towards the wing. Oh, Burke does well, just gets his kick in time, but only short. Roberts puts boot very quickly. It comes towards centre wing. Back to Burke again. Off to Deer. Floating hand pass wide towards Rogers. Rogers is 70 metres out. Richmond are charging home here. Laidley. Fairley couldn't take it. Snap by Daffy is high. In towards full forward. Now the charge is on. Edwards! Don't tell me he's kicked another one. Richmond, 1995. 17-4. North Melbourne, 7-5.
Well, there's no doubt that they're making a mass graduation here tonight, the Tigers, but I mentioned that there's only two bachelors. Sorry, there's only two married men out there for the Tigers, and the point being that when you haven't got a group of young players who are going out together, the confidence builds, the momentum builds, and that's what they've got running for them at the moment.
Spirit enormous in the Tiger camp. Scholl kicks to half forward, but it's broken down. Kellaway marks safely on his chest. Transfers play to the members' wing. Young man with a fairly mature head on his shoulders. David Burke, Gale and Free to half forward. To the back of the pack, Ross Smith. A little short hand pass. Oh, off the player's boot, was it? No. Found out by Deans that it is an all-clear throw-in. Stevens back onto the ground to the expense of Allison. Boundary throw-in right half forward for the Tigers. Chance again. Campbell, Edwards. Ball spills for Fairley. Not far enough. Callaway again. Hard worker is Duncan Callaway. And he's marked on his chest at right half forward for Richmond. He kicks inside 50 metres. Looks for Richardson. Punched away by Martin. Contest there between Smith and Maxfield. And another throw-in.
Not only is North looking down at a loss, but it is certainly not helping their already very poor percentage. Richmond, on the other hand, waltzing along. There goes, well, I thought he was going to go. The Knights tried to get the hand pass away. Burke should take this, and he does, on centre wing. The youngster tries to get onto a talk. Goes down to half forward, but a good mark taken by Keenan Reynolds. And it's interesting, Richmond in the coming weeks have Brisbane at the MCG in round 5 and Collingwood round 6 at the G, and then Adelaide. So it could be a most exciting month if you follow the boys from Punt Road. North preparing another change with Allison coming on again for Roberts. Rock around the body up towards Carey. Fisted clear of that player. Stevens threads through some heavy traffic. Good smother by Tate. Off it comes towards Michael Gale. Now to Matthew Knights. Listen to the roar. It's just sensational. Up towards centre wing. Chopped off by Smith. Great contributor and a great trier for North Melbourne in his 200. Down towards Longmire. Spent time on the bench. Tony Free. Ripped off the football. A chance now for Robert Scott. He bounced his way into goal. They so desperately need one. Robert Scott scores his first. And the Northerners 8-5 plays 17-4.
And I was just thinking, Robbo, what would you possibly do if you were the coach of North Melbourne, Dennis Pagan? I guess you can only hope that they give a general lift across the ground. 10 goals down, it's going to be tough for them.
Oh, very difficult, Jared. I thought at half-time Richmond were going to win, and they've carried on in this third term.
North Melbourne's last goal coming at the 20-minute mark of the second quarter. Been a long time between drinks, Robbo.
Only just. But the play goes on. Matthew Knights has been sensational. Hand pass away to Rogers. Rogers kicked to the front of the goals. A terrific effort by Ross Smith. Can he clear the pack? Hand pass. Goes as far as Blakey. Blakey's quick kick out near the wing. Again a contest for North Melbourne. McKernan gets his right foot to it. Important, but Greg Deere hacks it out of mid-air. King leads in the race. Good gather by King. Gets it back onto the right foot. Blocks past two opponents and then kicks to half forward. Punch away by Free. Discipline from half back. Greg Deere again working overtime in the middle of the ground. Michael Gale. Great kick by Gale. Richardson is marked. Michael Gale has been terrific across that half back line. But the punch by Free and then by Greg Deere. And the kick by Michael Gale was precision for the big forward. It's not a bad run-up, Sandy.
Shades of Michael Holding.
Matthew Richardson. He's kicked, what's he kicked? 3 goals? And he's now kicked 4. And Jared has kicked 4-1.
He's had a pretty good start to the year, hasn't he? Accuracy has been his strong point. but so too is marking and mobility and just more maturity that comes with playing extra games of football. In fact, I think Michael Martin's been quite a good player for North Melbourne also. But Richardson is just growing with every game.
112 plays 53, an awkward bounce. No one comes away cleanly with it. Oh, doing it well, however, was Tony Free, leading by example as the skipper kicked down towards half forward. Smith heads for the boundary line. Maxfield and Edwards going with him. Keenan Reynolds there for North.
Well, he usually leads with his jaw, so that's a pleasant change for Tony Free. But Ross Smith, well, not a great game, not personally, but for the club, for his 200th game. He's in fact had a ripper in defence. But North Melbourne have got more worries than this. They've got Carlton next week.
And here's Campbell on the boundary line, bending it back. Martin couldn't take it cleanly, sucked away by Richardson. Danger again for North Melbourne. Mickey has it this time. Comes to Keenan Reynolds. He's tucked in the back pocket. Not a good kick. Oh, Knight's almost sensational. Takes it again from Rogers. An excellent hand pass. Here they go. Here comes Duffy. Yes! Oh, the duck, the duck. Now he's kicked 6.
And it's been proclaimed Daffy Day.
D-Day.
D-Day. Well, he kicked 2 goals in the first quarter. He's got 2 in the second, and he's got 2 in the third. So he's a model of consistency, Sandy.
Plays 8-5. It's turning into an annihilation at the MCG. It's all Richmond. Here goes Matthew Richardson again. Throws it onto his left foot. Edwards from behind, taken by Reynolds. Reynolds kicks it clear, but not quite far enough. Tony Free, aggressive, shrugs the tackle. Maxfield, short kick. Rogers! Oh, he just couldn't quite grasp it. And Archer in a little bit of trouble behind play in the hands of the trainer. Just gasping for air, maybe. Slightly winded. He's a tough customer. Boundary throw in right forward pocket for Richmond. Just half a minute left. Edwards knocked away. Maxfield only as far as Rock. Now Smith. Smith kicks wide. Not far enough. Michael Gale will go back for the Tigers. To the 50-metre line, Richardson again. He's played half a game, Matthew Richardson, hasn't he? 4 goals and been a jumping jack. He's kicked to the front of the square. Brendan Gale. The ball spills Archer. Brendan Gale goes to Broderick. He's docked it. Broderick kicks his second goal. And Richmond go marching on. They've kicked their 20th with only 4 behind. The accuracy is phenomenal.
Well, Paul Broderick didn't have a great first half. He was always under the packs and working hard. He didn't get his hands on the ball, but he's had 9 possessions in this third quarter. And along with a couple of other players, in particular Wayne Campbell, have really just torn the heart out of the North Melbourne midfield.
Well, I don't think even Richmond will have time for another one in this term, but who knows? Archer. Crowd. Just listen to this.
The midfield did dominate for Richmond after about the first 10 minutes where North Melbourne had some control of the football but couldn't quite put a score on the board. And also thought Whitney had a pretty good quarter. He had 7 possessions on Wayne Carey then. He wrested back the ascendancy from the great player who just came into his own just before half-time. But also David Burke, I thought, showed a fair bit of ability on that back line. His disposal let him down a couple of times when he tried to bomb the ball, but it's been all Richmond all night, and really now it's just a matter of how far.
7 goals to 1 in that third quarter. The blitz goes on, 24-124. North, 8-5-53. The final quarter. Richmond have been stunning.
Schwass playing at centre half forward, or in fact lining up there. Carey in the middle of the ground.
Capuano does the ruck work and wins it down to Stevens, who tumbles it to half forward. The bouncing ball not there for Longmire. His immediate opponent in Turner pushes wide out in front of Bond. With him is Armstrong, close to the boundary line and eventually over.
So at the present time, we've got Broderick picking up Carey and the Wigney picking up Schwass. I wonder how long it'll last.
Capuano and Deere this time. Hurried kick towards the half-back flank came from Campbell, who's been in excellent touch right from the word go. Scott and Knights.
Jared, do you see Matthew Knights as an improving player? He's taking a little bit of responsibility under his wing now as a senior player at Richmond?
Well, he's had a great game tonight, but according to my Richmond spies, he probably hasn't been in scintillating form this season. But he's a very good player. He's the best and fairest winner. He's a state of origin player, and if he can produce a stellar season, his best ever season, well, it's going to really push Richmond well and truly into the top echelon of the eight. They'll make it. There's no doubt about that.
Bond towards half forward. Ball spilling free. It comes down towards Stuart Maxfield. The locks have been trimmed, but the dash certainly hasn't. Towards the 50-metre line, Richardson shrugs one, gives away the hand pass. It's a stray taken by Scholl. North now have a chance to set something up. Laidley ambles down the half-back line. Comes over the centre. Knights is there. And he's going to be paid the football. Midfielders have been sensational. I mentioned Campbell, probably been their best player this season. Despite a quiet first quarter tonight, he's been excellent, Jared.
No doubt. His figures suggest that he's had almost 20 possessions after quarter time.
And there he is.
21, in fact. Thanks, Robbo. Your maths is brilliant.
Boundary throw in just forward of the wing for Richmond. North Melbourne, King. Can he get clear? No. The 3 tackles in a row by Richmond locked him up. David Burke couldn't get clear. Armstrong can to half forward. The ball spills. There's a chance now for Nichols. Just slips. Taps it into the path of Capuano. Capuano does well. Gets a North Melbourne goal. It was a struggle, but pretty well done in the finish by the big fellow. He gets his first goal. North Melbourne get the first goal of the last term, but they still trail by 65 points.
Yeah, they'll be looking for credibility now in North Melbourne, just trying to make it respectable on the scoreboard. A few players could hopefully run themselves into some form and make their figures look a little bit more respectable.
Greg Deere.
And a big game.
Hasn't he been terrific? Big heart. Campbell gets it down to Knights. Knights clear. Not quite enough for Michael Gale, but he's able to get the handball. Whitney spills it. His recovery not bad. Not far enough. Armstrong. It may have been Archer. Nichols. Scott. As far as Scholl. Wider still. Stevens. Snapshot for goal has been marked by Turner. Strength was good there on Longmire. Away to Gale.
Michael Gale has a chance to run. Has a look up towards the half-forward line. Fisted clear by Laidley. Waiting down is King. Dashes through. A penetrating hand pass goes to Capuano. He's just kicked one. He fires away at goal for his second, but misses to the left. Turner to bring it back into play. Given plenty of time. Pinpoint pass finds his man in Campbell. To centre wing, but he doesn't. Capuano, who's been in just about everything in the last 2 minutes. Off to his captain. In towards half forward. Longmire the target, but he was besieged. Turner says, we'll get out of here and have a throw-in.
Had a good game, Turner. Had John Longmire taken off the ground. Hasn't done too many things wrong tonight.
75 metres from the North Melbourne goal. Boundary throw-in. Taken away by Tate. Kick close to the line. Is over for a throw-in. Tate has been a dogged defender. Gale doing some ruck work. That's Brendan Gale, of course. His brother has played a magnificent game across the half-back line for Richmond. Gale tries to get it to the back. Broderick, well done. Michael Gale in trouble. Back there towards Callaway. Oh, Karachko Schwass. That's a very dangerous incident there where the player who's ducked his head with his eye on the ball, the player coming the other way. I remember an incident with, I think it was Kevin O'Keefe from Fitzroy and Neil Saxey, Sandy. It was a shocker.
Yeah, he just missed his head though, that one.
Yeah, well...
Got him on the shoulder, which was lucky, Robbo. You're dead right.
Those incidents can be quite damaging, but Callaway, that's Chris Bradshaw, the Richmond doctor, and the football may be taken by Broderick. No, Callaway looks well enough to take the kick.
He's coming off.
No, he's coming off the ground. I thought he may have been going to take the kick, but...
he's lucky his brother Lachlan's a physio, so he'll be in good hands at home.
Well, I've already said tonight that he's a tough little customer, but the football with Broderick. Kicks to the 50-metre line. Gale in front. Jumps high and marks in front of Fairley. Grimacing. Just maybe favouring his left shoulder there. And it was a top effort from just jumping straight up, holding his ground, and he has the football 50 metres from the Tiger goal. Three kicks and 5 handballs for Brendan Gale. So his 4th kick, you wonder whether he could get the distance from here. It's the ball doesn't seem to go quite as far in the evenings. But by gee whiz, this is not a bad effort. Hits the post and high up too. So certainly got the distance there, Brendan Gale.
Pumped it.
Registering just one behind. Dean Laidley to kick in for North Melbourne.
65 points the margin. Laidley to the outer side. Oh, look at this. Richardson, sensational. This has been a very, very awesome display tonight. Maybe we're seeing the start of something, who knows? Armstrong. Burke, however, has been excellent, the youngster. Son of a champion. So here he is, directly in front, kicking from 47 metres. A high drop punt, up go, the black and gold. It's another one. Burke gets his first. One of 9 players to kick goals for the Tigers tonight.
Yeah, what a great kick that one. It was intercepted, and this was a good kick. This was a ripping kick. He's pumped it from just inside the 50, and he's got plenty of talent, young Burke.
David Burke kicks his first goal for the game. Handball clear by Prescott, but it's taken by Rock. Rock's kicked to half forward for North Melbourne. Nichols nearly got hold of it, but Whitney's little touch was important. Through goes Carey. Knocked clear by Reynolds. Roberts leaves it behind. Bond, a handball, not far enough. Carey, but Bond was in the action again. Whitney, a handball wide. Michael Gale, their defence has been absolutely enormous. Handball down the half-back line. Campbell, left foot kick not far enough. Taken by Rock. Rock's kick to the full forward area. The ball spills to the back. Turner feigns the hand pass, then confidently goes for a bounce and kicks clear out near the wing. Rogers punched away by Archer, taken by Schwass. Schwass goes for goal. Carey over the top. It spills for a behind to North Melbourne. Wayne Schwass, 9-7. Fairly miserable scoreline for North Melbourne. 21-5 looks quite spectacular for Richmond. Only 7 kicks and 1 handball for Wayne Schwass. David Burke kicks a goal 1 minute, kicks it in from fullback the next.
Goes to the outer side. Capuano beaten by Deer. Well, it's been an excellent team performance by Richmond tonight. Everyone a real contributor, none the least Deer. Richardson slaps it over the back. King accepts the hand pass. Archer takes the kick up towards half forward. Turner at the back once more is called to play on, and he does so to Sticky Tape. Away he comes to Gale on half back. Michael Gale comes to centre wing. Callaway takes the mark and away he goes. They're off and running. Campbell to left half forward. Rogers centering kick in towards full forward. Fisted down towards Knights and Scott. The latter almost claims it. Back it comes to Rossi Smith. He gives it away to his teammate there in Armstrong, and they're out of trouble. Up to half forward. There's courage. What a mark by Tate. Gale, after good work from his captain, gets it to centre wing and Campbell. Campbell floats it over towards Callaway. Caught by Stevens. Ball spills free. Charging through is Prescott. Can he go? Over the top it goes, touch for behind. Well, he spent a lot of time on the bench. He'll be delighted to at last be getting a run.
Well, here's Ross Smith on screen. It's amazing how many times a player celebrating a milestone like 100 or 200 plays in a losing side, but tonight's performance, Ross Smith has probably been North Melbourne's best player. He can certainly hold his head up high.
Bond tries to get it forward for Richmond, but it rebounds. Scott's handball makes it awkward for Schwass. He couldn't control it. Well, don't worry, Wayne. You've got to play this one out. Next week's a new day. Brett Allison prepares to come onto the ground for North Melbourne.
It's a big day for them also. Carl?
Capuano and Diaz. Go, Jared.
It's not as if Carlton are playing ordinarily at the present time.
Yeah, too true. Stevens kick across his right shoulder, taken by Carey. Scragged and thrown to the ground. His kick goes in towards half forward, free. He's been effective. Kick only as far as Robert Scott. That kick too high. David Burke has taken the mark. At right half back, he transfers play. Across the half back line, the mark is taken by Wigney. Tigers will go forward here. Gale has got plenty of acreage. A short kick, no, he's going long. But not quite far enough. Smith goes back with the flight of the ball. It beat everyone bar Mickey Martin. His kick, not too bad. Gale does a good job. He was outnumbered 1 against 2. Prescott gets it to the back. Allison a chance to gather. No, in goes Broderick. Richmond have worked in numbers all night. The sign of a truly professional performance by the Tigers, and that scoreboard reflects it. Umpire will bounce on centre wing.
Just over 10 minutes remaining. Scott to Schwass. To half forward, Turner defends. Chips away to Bond. And look at him sprint away from Roberts.
Oh, 30.
Through the middle he goes. Up to half forward. Richardson tried to belt it over the back and he copped one on the scone for his trouble. Seeing it over is Paul Broderick.
Just have a look at the way he tries to knock it on there. In fact, he didn't try to knock it on, Paul. He tried to pull it in with the one hand.
So a throw in on left half forward. Gale. Fairley. Schwass. His hand pass straight to the opposition. The kick, however, is very wide by Nick Daffy. I'd like him tonight.
He's had a big night. He's kicked 2 goals in every quarter. He's bobbed up with a couple of kids that he didn't know about, courtesy of Ian Robertson.
You can't say anything nowadays, can you, Robbo?
Exactly.
Left forward pocket. Rogers. No. Laidley. Allison. North out of trouble. Back towards Capuano, who's almost down the centre wing. Got a couple of players running through the middle, but he elects to take the kick. Up towards his captain at half forward. Fisted down to Nichols. Nichols playing in front. Puts it in towards Reynolds. And he marks 42 metres out, 45-degree angle.
And we see this one, Trent Nichols just maintaining his discipline, putting it out in front. Everybody going through the motions at the present time, particularly North Melbourne, just trying to hang in there.
Reynolds shoots towards goal, and he has kicked it. Just sneaking it in. The Shane Warne lookalike gets his first. 21-6 plays 10-7.
Well, he spent most of the game down in defence, full back, picking up Stuart Edwards. But on this occasion, he's gone forward as Michael Gale comes off the ground to the rapturous applause of the Tigers.
Gale off the ground, Maxfield on. Scholl tackled by Brendan Gale. Kick towards half forward. Carey gets back onto the right foot, then kicks it wide. Is it wide enough? Maxfield was dragged by Robert Scott. So Maxfield will take the free kick.
It really has just fallen apart for North Melbourne the last couple of weeks, and they're really going to have to struggle to get the 4 points against Carlton, who, as we said, are playing terrific football.
Tate receives from Maxfield, able to get around onto his right foot and kick towards half forward. The ball spills. Prescott, short pass. Edwards, yes, great mark. Terrific mark by Edwards. We must mention this is the last term, but in the first quarter, when we saw a scintillating first 8 minutes of this game, Edwards was one of the players for Richmond to set them on their way.
What about Prescott? He does look like a balanced player. Beautiful kick. Haven't seen much of him. Justin Charles has just come onto the ground, replacing Stuart Wigney.
Edwards goes for his 5th goal. Hits the post. Nearly hit the top of the post. Purely irrelevant, of course, as we see Michael Gale. Richmond lead by 11 goals. Ross Smith, 7.5 minutes left. North Melbourne plenty of time to get a couple back on the scoreboard to make it look reasonable.
I thought it just might have been a message or a signal that tapping the ball on the chest, on the hip, the left hip. And there's Justin Charles getting a run for the night with the Tigers. He'll enjoy being out in the ground, celebrating what's going to be a fantastic Tiger victory.
Yes, and on to Carey. Capuano, Edwards plucks it with the one hand, then kicks towards half forward. Only to see Archer take a timely mark. North can run it out. Back towards centre wing. Oh, the kick's going to be intercepted by the running Maxfield. Look out, Duncan Kellaway. Unable to take it was Prescott. Maxfield again. Still Maxfield. Under pressure. High and wide. Smith kicks up towards the centre wing. Carey.
That was a great play by Carey then. He just outread that ball and just pushed back at the right time, and Charles just fell all over his back. No stage it was Carey going for the kick, and his stats would indicate, Robbo, he's had a pretty quiet night, except perhaps that 10 minutes in the second quarter.
11 and 4.
Kicks to half forward. Big pack of players. And he kicked 2 goals in that second quarter. in front of this crowd tonight of 62,606. Welcome to Monday Night Football. Here's Kellaway saying to Jamie Tape or Chris Bond, you want to run, you go fetch. Acrobatic by Schwartz, but will it endear him to the Richmond fans? Laidley down towards Roberts, can't take it on the half volley. Burke picks it up, kicks back towards centre wing, but straight to the lovable Wayne. He kicks into half forward. Turner will be the flyer from behind, and he does it confidently, and he does it well. Up towards centre wing, Knights. Little blinder to Maxfield, to half forward. They're ripping it from one end of the ground to the other. Richardson, 60 metres out. The pass is on, but intercepting it is that junkyard dog.
Well, they've been under pressure all night, the North Melbourne defence, but they get clear now. Armstrong, Stevens and Armstrong again towards the full forward area, and coming out taking a good mark on his chest is Keenan Reynolds.
Wasn't that a great kick?
Well, a good passage of play there, probably their best for the night, but I suppose you have to expect that. Richmond have been intense with their pressure in every area of the ground all night.
Just have a look at this kick. It's the best part of 50 metres. Just pumps it beautifully onto the chest of Keenan Reynolds.
Well, he was known as a goal kicker at Footscray when he had the chance. He's kicked one already, and he'd be a real chance to get his second here. Not a bad kick by Keenan Reynolds. Kicks his second goal from 10 kicks. Of course, he started in a key defensive role.
Yes, and then he went forward. He's done okay down there this quarter. Beautiful pass, and as we said, came as the ball broke down for Richmond on the end of a good passage of play also. This turnover is still very costly. Greg Deere just coming off the ground, being replaced by another ruckman in Chris Naish, and after a fantastic game he's had. Well, he's not playing the ruck, is he?
On-baller?
Well, I'll call him an on-baller.
There he is with Stuart Wigney, but an excellent game by Greg Deere. Boy from Traralgon, kicked a goal in the first quarter and has rucked magnificently. Clever tap by Maxfield, giving his side the ascendancy again. Down to half forward, Allison tries to belt it back in towards the middle. North trying desperately to finish off with some run. Brock gets it towards Trent Nichols. He heads towards Carey country. Waiting down Capuano, couldn't take it cleanly. Richmond still applying enormous pressure. Justin Charles, fresh man on, finding out all about that pressure as Matthew Armstrong, the last one up. 20 possessions for Armstrong. 21. But not one he would have liked there, straight to ball.
He has worked hard, though. There hasn't been too many in midfield for North giving him a hand. He's been one that's struggled under a lot of pressure.
Tape. Kicks towards centre wing, towards Richardson, and wide off. He comes to the left half forward. Smith. Oh, great recovery by Prescott. Centering kick is clever. Daffy, make it your night. Well, he tried.
It was probably his easiest shot, Billy, wasn't it?
He's kicked, what, 6-3 of 21-8.
Well, they've been at their most inaccurate for the whole game in the last term, Sandy. They've kicked 1 goal 4 at three-quarter time. They had a terrific scoreline of 20 goals 4. It's just been off target in this last term. This is Capuano for North Melbourne. He kicks to half forward, Carey and Charles, and the ball spills for a throw-in. Nearly up to left half forward, quite near where the North Melbourne players enter the arena. Of course, Richmond coming from the opposite side of the ground, the old or the Melbourne rooms. Kick forward by Rock, 50 metres from goal. Longmire, hand pass. Burke. Gee, he's very, very steady, isn't he, David Burke? Kicks wide, looking for Campbell, but just a little too far for that player. And an impressive game there by young David Burke. Left half forward for North Melbourne, Capuano and Edwards. I've been wrapped in Edwards. He's had lots of trouble with injury in the last couple of years, but doing well now. Knocked away from Carey by Charles. Burke again goes down unfairly, and he will take the free kick. Justin Charles will get it back quickly. But David Burke will add another kick to his statistics, 16 kicks and 3 handballs. As we see him go down heavily, Carey, then Armstrong. His kick towards the wing. Richardson! Leaping, no. Free kick to Martin. Martin goes to Schwass, gets past Knights, gets past Campbell. One bounce to get him steady onto that left foot. Kicks to half forward, punched away by Turner, kicked by Rock. Anthony Rock has kicked a North Melbourne goal. Rock's first goal, and North Melbourne get their 12th, but they still trail by 55 points.
Well done by Wayne Schwass. He's had a few touches of football in the last quarter. Anthony Rock's had a consistent game. He's ended up with 20 touches of the ball, kicked a nice goal there. Just battled hard, but in general, North Melbourne just struggled all over the ground.
Back in the middle once more with just a couple of minutes remaining. In fact, a minute and a half. It's going to be a night Richmond fans will remember for a long time. Daffy's in the middle there, but he can't take it cleanly. Scott gets caught.
Trip.
Armstrong. A few casualties, but it's been a hectic night. Bit of cramp for Matthew Knights as Armstrong picks himself up. Still in the centre. Stevens, Capuano got the hand pass away towards Roberts, who fires a high kick to half forward. Carey did well, goes over the top. Look out! Crunched was Nichols. Away come the Tigers, and Knights kick is high towards half forward. Allison, an effective spoil. Unable to take it cleanly was Paul Broderick. It lets North Melbourne in again. Smith to half forward. Stevens, a chance to score. Over to Roberts, in trouble but still paddling the ball along in front. Back to Schwass. Wayne Schwass from 40 metres out, shoots in towards goal and has put it through. So he gets his first, the 1994 club champion. Inside the last minute, 13-7 plays 21-8.
Well, it has been basically North Melbourne the last 10 minutes. You can't take anything away from Richmond. They've battled their proverbial out all night, and they've just taken the foot off the accelerator for the last 10 or so minutes.
Wayne Schwass directing traffic. Capuano, a big fist to it. Towards centre half forward, left behind by Charles. Handball wide by Carey. Into the path of Armstrong. His kick is good. He finds Rock. This will be the last kick of the night. Richmond supporters
Ecstatic.
wouldn't be really worried about this, I don't think, although Kevin Morris in the middle there, Johnny Norby still giving instructions, get back on the line because maybe percentage can be considered. The torpedo punt kick by Anthony Rock. Can he get onto it? No, he can't. It'll drop short. No addition to the scoreline. Callaway takes the ball. Richmond win by 49 points at 21-8, 134. North Melbourne 13-7, 85. And you can sing on, although Dipper's got a message down there with Greg Deere.
Thanks very much, Ian. I'm coming. No, that's all. Now, I'll take us back to that first 10 to 15 minutes of that first quarter. It was absolutely electrifying out there, Greg.
Yeah, we finally did something we've been trying to do all year, and that was kick straight. And once we started kicking straight, the pressure was off us, and we could just go to the natural game, which was good.
Now, you've been involved with some great wins. Now, tonight must be a special night for Richmond.
It really was a good win, but last quarter a bit disappointing. We got beaten in the last quarter, but it was a great win for the boys.
They would have had a lot of confidence after beating Hawthorn last week to come in tonight's game.
Yeah, well, it was a really tough game last week, and we really fought it out right to the end, and it was great, so we did put a lot of confidence.
Well, go and enjoy, big fella. Nice to see you.
And how about the crowd, Sandy and Robbo? There's just Richmond flags just waving everywhere. Players huddled together, but John Northey has been a man that's probably been the silent one behind all of this. Hasn't got a great deal of press about the resurgence of Richmond, and there he is on screen. And he's been in this position before with Melbourne, just coming from the bleachers.
I don't think I've seen a crowd like this. Look at the game berserk.
Well, I think a couple of years ago, I was involved in a game for the old Buffers to try and help Richmond resurrect financially out at Windy Hill. And I think the AFL would be absolutely ecstatic about this, because there's a lot of Richmond supporters out there, Sandy. They've been a great club for a long time, and they looked in trouble about 3 or 4 years ago, and it's great to see them. It's disappointing for North Melbourne, but every result pleases someone, and there's a hell of a lot of the 65,000 fans voting for the Tigers.
Listen to that. That says it all.
Great players amongst that lot. There's Daffy. Rab kicked his 6 goals. He had a great performance. Bond did particularly well. Shaken but not stirred early in the game, as we alluded to earlier in the piece, but he came up and continued to do well. Had Sloss for a fair bit of the game.
You wouldn't say there were too many that were disappointing in the Richmond Guernseys?
No, not at all. Turner did very well. Wigney, in fact, I gave Wigney a vote. I thought he did an excellent job at centre half back, and has really just repaid Richmond for giving him another chance in AFL football. Right throughout the midfield, they dominated. Gale, Knights, Campbell. They really did share the load, Richmond. Richardson was exciting. Stuart Edwards...
I think Matthew Richardson is one of the most exciting prospects in the caper. Just a young man and plenty in front of him.
A big night for the Tigers.
Could be a bachelor party. Could be a bachelor party, Sandy.
Calling in John Northey for the song. Come on, swoop out.
It's not hard, is it, Sandy, to get involved? It's great stuff.
Score here on Monday Night Football at the MCG. Richmond running out victors by 49 points, 21-8, 134. North Melbourne 13-7, 85.